Dear members of the European Parliament, I want to tell you my story. Teacher, scientist and a professor at the National Pedagogical University, I was illegally removed from teaching work for a post on Facebook. In this post, I expressed my critical attitude to the persecution of dissidents in Ukraine on the basis of language law. After that, informational and psychological harassment began on the part of right-wing radical forces, which forced the university management to remove me. The university held two humiliating meetings that resembled a witch hunt, monstrous public courts. I am concerned that the university in Ukraine is losing its status of an independent academic environment and is turning into a service function of the authorities and the street activists. In addition, being a public figure, I am constantly exposed to threats of my life and health. My reputation and professional activity are completely destroyed. I ask you to pay attention to my case. The techniques of persecution of dissenting scientists and teachers of Ukraine are being tested on my example. Dear members of the Ukrainian Parliament, you may not know me. My name is Vlad Loza. I am Ukrainian poet, translator, one of the coordinators of the student campaign in defense of Professor Evgeniya Bilchenko. For many days I have witnessed an escalating hate campaign on social media combined with either indulgent inactivity or direct and absurd pressure on Evgeniya Bilchenko on the part of academic community. Together with other students who wanted to protect our academic mentor, we conducted an informational campaign on social networks, wrote open letters, gave comments in the media, participated in hearings of various blogs where we tried to block the badgering that has moved to an institutional level. These meetings was of the academic council where we managed, despite the fierce resistance of the council members, to read our letter in defense of Professor Bilchenko with 50 signatures, and where nevertheless the unlawful decision on dismissal was taken. Since then, the processes have acquired a hidden, creeping, but therefore no less threatening character. On behalf of young Ukrainian intellectuals and a conscious student community, I ask you to pay attention to this flagrant case of political censorship in Ukraine and take all measures in your power to restore the democratic justice.
Hello, my name is Ekaterina Zharkikh and I am journalist of the closest opposition channel 112. Freedom of speech is dying in Ukraine. Opposition channels such as Zik, News 1, 112 are being closed down for their criticism of the authority. Opposition journalists are being prosecuted. There are lists of people who work in this channel. These people are being hunted down and threatened. Even the 112 YouTube channel has been closed down. A new channel has been closed as well. It worked for 1 hour. On behalf of all the Ukrainian journalists, I call to the European Parliament to look at what's happening in Ukraine and influence Ukrainian authority.
Dear member of European Union, Mrs. Konechna, let me express my gratitude for all your efforts in observing the situation with the human rights in Ukraine. This topic was always under attention of the European Parliament. Unfortunately, as you might already know, the situation is pretty bad and the violations of human rights starts to be systematic. You might know me already. My name is Vasily Muravitsky. I am a journalist. I used to be recognized as a prisoner of conscience by Amnesty International. 3 years ago, you and several of your colleagues sent to Ukraine an open letter in my support. Thanks for this. Some months after this letter, I could come back home to my family. I spent almost a year imprisoned and was facing 15 years of jail for my professional work, for the criticism towards government, I was officially accused for betrayal of motherland. This is incredible violation of human rights. Thank you for my support, and I will be glad to meet you in Ukraine. Уважаемый член Европарламента Катажина Конечна, благодарен вам за внимание к Украине и нарушениям прав человека, которые происходят здесь. Европарламент всегда стоял на защите прав человека и за высокие демократические ценности. Меня зовут Василий Муравицкий. В 2017 году Amnesty International официально признала меня узником совести. Я журналист, меня преследуют за мирное выражение своих взглядов и обвиняют в особо тяжком преступлении государственной измене. Суть обвинения: я посмел высказывать свою точку зрения с критикой власти. Это, по мнению прокуратуры, государственная измена и наказание в виде тюрьмы в 15 лет. При новом президенте, к сожалению, случаи аналогичного нарушения права на свободу выражения не только не исчезли, они происходят опять. Прошу донести до всех членов парламента факты нарушения свободы слова в Украине.